Hey, what up, guys? I know it has been a long time since I updated this stuff. I think the last time I ever did it was probably in maybe May or June or something. But I just basically just I didn't really have much content to kind of share with you guys just because this whole COVID thing just really slowed me down. Just literally, I basically did nothing all summer. I just chilled at my house. Wait, basketball season came back. Clippers blew a 3-1 lead, so that's something funny. Um, so just all that going on. I actually just recently got the word that Giannis got MVP. Well, I mean, I heard it earlier, but yeah. Even wearing the jersey just to represent. I mean, funny that he lost in the second round. He got injured game four, but surprisingly they won that game anyway. Still, regular season team. Other quick updates. Well, I still doing the fantasy thing. You guys can kind of see that maybe from the previous videos I got my room a little bit more decorated. Right there is the Last Dance. That's like a parody of the Last Supper, but from a like the famous Jesus painting. I can show you a close up, but probably some other video. So, anyways, that right there, that thing right there is a signed actually. Here I'll show this one a little bit. Here, right there, that's actually a signed Babe Ruth picture that my best friend actually got me for my graduation present. Funny thing is, he's not into sports, so he kind of just got that as a gift. I think like his grandma won it as in an auction, and then grandma just gave great grandma, actually yeah, great grandma won it, and then just gave it to him and said, hey, you better not sell any of this stuff. And then he was like, okay, don't worry. But then as he was like kind of moving out, and like I think as she got older, I guess he's like, I think I'm just gonna give it to some of my friends. And sure enough, I got it just because like he wanted to give it to me as a grad present. You know what I mean? So I was like, hey, it's lit. Okay, so just some other things. So I actually kind of wanted to go into a topic today. So gonna dive right into it. So I kind of thought, recently with how I know probably during COVID, like a lot of people are back on it, but I was just kind of thinking, like, I sometimes begin to wonder, and it was something that one of my parents told me, and I was like, dude, like you guys are old school, but now kind of looking at it, maybe they kind of have a point. I just kind of realized that honestly, it's just so ass or it's just so whack that people actually dedicate their lives to playing video games. Now I know this sounds like a random topic, but like, kind of like hear me out. I just so I mean, when obviously during this COVID thing, when I had nothing to do, I was just like gaming and stuff like that. Sometimes here and there, you know what I mean? Because I had nothing better to do. In the meantime, other than that, I'd just be binge watching shows. I mean, I don't even binge watch like that, but COVID gave me those kind of options. So, I just kind of like started to think that like what I mean. Here's the thing: I'm not like one of those avid gamers where I just like play for like hours and hours, do multiplayer. I don't even do multiplayer, bro. I just like play the campaign and I'm done. That's how I see it. And I just like play for like about 1 hour, or no, probably less than an hour, like 30 minutes if anything. Then I'm just kind of like sitting there like, dude, although this is fun, it's just what am I doing with my life at my age? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm 23 years old. I'm freaking like I should be doing much more stuff. Like I should be going out to travel. I should be hanging out with friends. And okay, obviously I know this is the awkward time, but I'm speaking in general. Like I can't believe there are people who are much older than me that dedicate their lives to doing this, where like they play hours and hours of gaming every single day, where that's like a livelihood. And I just like and they keep up to date with all like the new games that's coming out. They like when you bring up something about gaming, they automatically bring their nerd insight to it and say like, oh, yada yada, oh no, that game's not going to be released, yada yada, because they're trying to fix the graphics and yada yada. Oh, by the way, you should play the beta of the like so and so game. And I'm like, dude, you're really taking up your time to play a demo of a game? Like you're wasting that much of your time with your life when you could be doing some other bullshit? So I just kind of been thinking that like, I mean, and one of my eldest cousins, who kind of was just even like telling me this, and I just now put into considerations that video games really don't do anything for you when you think about it. Like, it's just basically you just playing it just to kind of like like just keep you preoccupied, but doesn't really do much in kind of like the long run. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather be reading books and shit like that. Like, hell, I'd even got like these two big ass books. Like, I'm sure many of you guys heard of this, called War and Peace. Um, I don't know, man. Like, I just really I found more value into reading. I just watched TV shows just because like I guess TV shows are just like much more easier sitting down. And I know everyone's gonna bring up like, oh well, you sitting down watching TV makes you more lazier compared to playing a video game. And I'm like, okay, sure. But guess what? I could be lazy watching a TV show, and sometimes even TV shows can be insightful. But a video game, I'm just playing freaking like space bullshit, yada yada, shooting. All I don't know, man. It's just whack. But um, now my point is, I'm not gonna say I don't like I don't agree with gaming or yada yada, and the gaming culture's ass. I didn't say that. You know what I mean? Like I'll still buy the new upcoming Call of Duty, but I'm not gonna like like wait in motherfucking line. I'm not gonna like try to like spend my whole life just around those whole months playing the game and stuff like that. Nah, man, I'm just gonna play it when I can get around to it, and that's it. I still have games that I never even touched since then. You know what I mean? Because I have other stuff to do. And another thing is I even have like a friend who's like kind of more consumed into the gaming lifestyle, and it's just kind of like he's nonstop up to date with all like gaming information content. He always telling me about getting the PS5, and I'm like and that's the thing about the PS5 that's coming out. The PS5 may sound cool and stuff, but it's like I'm dropping 500 400 isn't that bad, you know what I mean? But like damn, people like when I click on the link it's already sold out, and I go on eBay and everyone's reselling it for $1,000 because they know like freaking morons are gonna drop hella money just to try to get that PS5. It's just like, do you see what I'm saying? Like people are really want to throw and do you know what's the worst part is? You can never get them. You can get your money back, but you're not getting your time back. So that's why I just kind of realized that and keep in mind, I was like this when I was much younger, when I was in middle school. So when I was in middle school, I was just like, well, how was I like I was all about like every day I just wanted to be preoccupied playing my Xbox, and I begged my mom every like 2 weeks, like, can I get the new game? Can I get a new game? And like then once I kind of got out of that lifestyle, now as I grew older, once I finally finished up high school, where I like did much more. Well, I mean, in high school I wasn't even a gamer, to be honest with you. But as I finally graduated, I just realized that there is much more to life than just this bullshit, system like console gaming and shit like that. You know what I mean? I just realized that I'm like better off to having a social life, and not just that, but like because of that, like I mean I do play games so and so, like I just admitted, but it's just only when I'm not like one of those people where they like one of my like my friend tells me like, oh, every time a new video game comes out you have to play it and try it, it's amazing and stuff, and I'm like, nah man, like I only go with my taste now. So basically once I stopped getting into gaming and stuff like that, like I'm just became much more pickier, where I just want to play a game just because like it looks cool, like Call of Duty or whatever bullshit. And even Call of Duty just been whacked to me. I kind of stopped with that. So yeah, I stopped experimenting with stuff, and yeah, because there's much more to life. I'd rather experience travel. I'd rather experience like hangouts with friends. You know what I mean? It's just bullshit, yeah, I guess, So now my whole point from how I'm gonna end this, it's not necessarily about the fact that like gaming is like bad or yada yada wrong. Like do what you want, you feel me? But it's like in the end, in the long run, like what does it necessarily bring to you? Sure, it may like bring you temporary happiness and stuff, but it's just like you're just kind of wasting your life away doing that. You know what I mean? It's just, and honestly, and the reason why I brought up my parents earlier and stuff like that, because my dad would tell me that like he thinks it's like my dad's like old school, like Middle Eastern stuff, and he would tell me that like, oh yeah, like I think it's just weird that like people are like much older than you are just like still into the gaming and stuff. And I was just like, oh, okay, he's just old-fashioned. But now I kind of starting to think, and looking at other people who are much older than me who are still into that gaming stuff, is like, damn, he kind of does have a point, because like he wants what's best for me, and he realized that that's not a lifestyle that I should be part of, because it's not the right lifestyle. I mean, I know, who am I to say that, but I'm just keeping it real G. That's it, like shit. Oh, thank God I'm into sports at least. All right.